All right. It is leg day today, and it's a very high volume day today. So, just quickly, our rep range for today is 50 reps, 30 reps, and 10 reps. All three are going to be increasing the weight. But before we get deep into this, let's get you through a montage of what happened in the day, which was an epic one. And I'm sure you guys are going to love this. Let's go. All right, so what you saw there was my strength class happening. Let's get back into it. It's 50 reps for our first exercise, and the whole purpose for this is to actually drive as much blood into our quadricep muscles or our legs. Now, not only is this exercise going to be following this rep range sequence of 50, 30, 10, every single exercise today is going to be following that. So we start off with the leg extensions, getting those legs roasted, getting the blood flowing there. Then we've increased the weight for our next set as well too. And this is only just going to pump as much blood into the muscle as possible. So it's just increasing the intensity. A great way to increase intensity as well too, because it makes sure your joints are very ready for the movement as well too. So as the intensity increases, it's a little bit more swing in there. Look at my face; it is getting quite intense in there. So I'm really pushing it. I'm trying to pump as much blood into the muscle, and I'm throwing away a lot of the control for these. This is intense. I'm still trying to get full range of motion in, and I could really feel it. Now we're going up to the 10 rep range, which is nice and easy. A heavier weight. We are working and we are pushing it. It is intense. I'm loving the flavor. I'm loving the fire. The pump is unreal as well. So this is one of the best parts of it, and this is what makes it epic as we go through this movement. So next up, we've got the hack squats, and can you guys already imagine how intense this is gonna be? So on the hack squat, we've got 50 reps. I started off, and I'm like, look, need to pause for a little bit and then get into it. And even just thinking about it for 50 reps, what was going through my mind, it was insane. So I wake up this morning. I didn't get too much sleep yesterday because it was another busy day. And hey, my life is busy. I just got to manage with what I've got at the moment. I'm sure most of you guys have full time jobs and work crazy hours in general, and you have to get up and train. So, I'm here. I showed up. That's what I've been talking about these days, guys. Show up. So, 50 reps on the hack squat. I knew I had a very high rep and high volume training today, but like I said, I just threw myself in the deep end. I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna show up. As long as I show up, it's gonna be awesome. And I'm gonna tell you what, if you're not feeling like training, this is actually one of the best training sessions that you can actually implement. Do you know why? Because you get warm so easily. Your joints and everything gets so properly warmed up that you actually start getting into zone for the workout. It starts to actually feel good. And you actually start to zone in and feel actually like wanting to train legs. So I know it sounds weird, but even though it was intense, it's very easy for me to push through these sets as well too. I can increase that mentality. I can get right into my zone, and you gotta think of this. Actually makes you think about why you actually started in the first place. Now, 50 reps on the hack squat is no playing. This is I honestly would rather 50 reps on barbell squats instead. You know. And the good thing of the hack squat is you can't cheat it. We're literally going all the way down for every single rep. I mean, same thing with squats, but sometimes with squats we get away with depth because it's so easy to miss it, or like in the last few, do those 10 reps and not lock out and be like, look, we're good, or not get as much depth and be like, look, we're good, no one saw it, or you know what I mean? With this one, I was making sure that I hit the bottom of the machine for every single rep. I could feel it. Look at that. I could get that nice stretch, squeeze, deep, full reps in. I had to make sure that I wasn't cheating myself and that my reps were actual legit. So this is one way to really push your intensity to another level. And it's one of the things that, like I said, once you start, you zone in as well too. So when we get deeper and deeper into the session, you guys would also figure out, like, not only was my day filled with just training legs, I did quite a few things too. I taught a class, which I usually do, and I teach strength, which is awesome. So I basically would workshop the class, which I'm going to showcase later on. So I want you guys to stay tuned right to the end so you don't miss out on it. And I also went through a little bit of like technique and also made sure everyone lifts some crazy weights. And it's pretty impressive today. I know one of my girls almost got 100 kilos on a deadlift, and I've only just started these classes recently, and for me that was pretty impressive to see her go from like 40, 50 kilos to 100 kilos in such a short period of time. We just didn't get a lock out there, but enough talk about that. We're gonna focus on that in the next sessions as well too. So at this point, my legs were feeling super wasted. I could start to feel the fatigue kicking, but I'm also increasing that weight, so driving my knees out, focusing on engaging my glutes, engaging my hips. So you can see my hip extension as well too as I come down. So getting a nice stretch, getting a nice squeeze, getting a nice feel of the weight. That's one of the most important things, is ensuring that I actually feel the exercise I'm doing in the muscle groups that I want to as well too. So it's very important that these are actually harnessed during our workout sessions, like, and especially with bodybuilding training, where our priority is actually more feeling the muscle than anything else. So that's a big part. So whenever you guys are training, even with high reps, if you're not feeling the muscle, slow it down. Control the movements. If you do feel it, that's fine. But if you don't feel the muscle, slow it down, control the movements, and work your way into it again. That's part of it. And yeah, getting that control. And look at these. Now I'm just pumping these ones out because only 10 reps. And, of course it gets heavier. But, now when you've been doing that many reps, you increase the weight by the smallest little bit and you feel it. You feel it real good. So that's one of the things that you really want to focus on as well too. All right. Next up, we have our leg press. I love the leg press machine. Going high rep on the leg press is normal for me. So this honestly wasn't a intense one. I think I could have gone a little bit heavier with my weight. I think that could have been a little bit more challenging, but I wasn't honestly sure what to expect with this. So that's why I kind of decided to test it out with this, and not go too crazy with the weight. I was like, you know what, I don't know what I'm in for. Let's just keep it nice and light. I always do that with training. If I'm not exactly sure what I'm in for, I'm just aiming for my reps instead. And I want my form and technique to still be pretty decent. I just rather decide not to go over the top or with the weight, because that can cost me my form and technique. So 50 reps, smash that out pretty quickly as well too, and then of course change the angle where I could, and then yes, we're back again for 30 reps as well. Now when it comes to the leg press as well too, it is important for you guys to know that you're pushing through your heels, pushing your knees out as well too. The position of your leg can make a massive difference as well too where you guys are training. So make sure when you are hitting up your sessions with the leg press, you focus on actually that target muscle group we're aiming for. So if I was going for more hamstrings, I'll probably pull my legs up slightly higher. And if I'm going for quads, I'll put it slightly lower. Right now it's in between. I'm trying to hit both at the same time too. So I'm not trying to isolate any sort of muscle group. Right now it's just me just trying to get as much as I can for all my whole legs, all my legs as a whole, for the muscle groups too. So that's where it becomes really important for you guys to focus on. And if when it comes to any sort of things that you're like, what can I improve on, really focus on the position of of your joints or position of your limbs for execution of the movement, because that's very, very important. That's basically your whole workout. So now we got 10 reps of this, joining in, loading up the bar, getting a bit more in, and pushing through. So this angle doesn't show too much, so you can't really see the weight on there. I mean, you can a little bit from the left hand side. Almost looks like there's nothing on the right hand side, but yeah, I started to increase the weight a little bit more to challenge me. Now these ones were interesting as well too. This was our Kettlebell RDL. My glutes were on fire when I was doing this one. And when I say fire, I mean fire, fire. Like it was burning. Okay, so nice little hamstring stretch on the way down, and then the hip extension, one of the most important parts. Now once you start to get a hip extension to speed, your glutes literally work overtime. That's where it gets like intense. Like it was intense with this. I could really feel the glutes engage. I think it's very important when it comes to an exercise like this to be able to engage your glutes at a certain point where it doesn't really affect your lower back. Even though my lower back looks slightly rounded, in that instance, me personally, I have a slight anterior pelvic tilt, so I wasn't full like rounded. That was actually a nice neutral spine for me, and I could really feel the muscles work. But that is a back view, so something a little bit different. My glutes literally were taking over, so you can really see that, and that's for me. That's what I wanted as much as possible. Even, I mean, it was good for even my hamstrings because my hamstrings work quite a bit too. But with that bend, I actually wanted my glutes to work as hard as it could. So that was a really, really, really good push for me. And this being the last exercise as well too, I had to make sure that I was really, really pushing myself to my limit. So this was great. At this point where it was the last and I was using my heaviest weights, I could really feel my glutes burn and really, really pushing through. And this was awesome for my hips. And this was amazing for me to absolutely smash through and feel like, for me, that was an epic workout. Like I could feel the pump, feel the blood flow, and yeah, it's something I'll definitely do. What's up, guys? So today Jags is going to be taking the class. So what I'm doing is I'm actually challenging my student to help performing technique. So this is going to prove how good my teaching is. So now we get into our deadlifts today. So I had a class on. They did an amazing job. Um, this was actually a demo. So Jags was taking over one of the girls from the class, and before I started the class, she was already helping one of the girls out with technique, which was really cool. So I'd like to workshop my classes so people can actually learn proper forming technique while they do perform these movements as well. And the girls seem to have picked this up really quickly already. They were already onto it, getting their deadlifts in, and they were helping each other. And for me, I felt like a proud father. I felt like I thought my clients and my students, and they're done really well. So that was huge for me to see that happening on their own without me saying anything. So yeah, some of the forms and techniques displayed throughout the whole session as well. And obviously as we went through, I kind of corrected some of the forms and technique, but this was really good. Very, very I was pretty pleased for having a bigger amount of people or a bigger class. Some of them starting off their first time deadlifting, and with such good form in comparison to someone that's been doing it for years. So that was really cool. It almost looked like every single one of them was getting personal trained. So and one of the cool things here, Liv over here was going for 100-kilo deadlifts, a personal best of over 20 kilos, which was insane. We didn't quite lock it, but it was great. Now, after we finished off with a nice little circuit. I broke everyone up into squats and lunges. So some of the groups decided they wanted to do lunges, and the others decided to do squats. So with our squats, we just went for some very high rep squats, which actually followed the same principle of 50, 30, and 10. And the lunges was just 5 reps each leg, and we did 5 sets. So I kind of split them up, and it was good because it was great to challenge them in different ways. And also at the end of the day, I got them to actually choose their workout before they got to do it. And again, a big thank you to everyone that's been watching my Train Every Day series, or anyone that actually watches my YouTube. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe if you're new. Your boy is out. Peace.